Exomologiste to Kyrio te agathos alleluia.
Otis ton neona to eleos aftu alleluia.
All right, guys.
Yeah, so
Have a nice civilized conversation.
absolutely, yeah. My reputation here,
He looks alright. Yeah, he can discuss.
yeah, my reputation here is someone who, talks with Muslims respectfully. I don't insult Muhammad. No one has known me to insult Muhammad anyway.
I respect that.
And I try to have a good intellectual conversation about religion. That's all I'm
Yeah.
about.
All right.
So,
Let me ask you, what would be the most compelling evidence for Christianity?
no, I thought we had agreed. I don't know if he mentioned it to you, but I wanted to talk about the perfect preservation of the Quran.
We could talk about that, but I'd also like to talk about the most compelling evidence for Christianity.
Okay, do you want to have that maybe as a separate discussion? Because
I want
I
this
came
discussion.
into the discussion thinking that, and we spoke outside,
Yeah,
that I would be able
let him
to
know, but
challenge him on the perfect
he
preservation, and in return he can challenge me on the Bible.
Yeah,
and
that's
its
what he offered.
preservation.
I never said that's what he agreed on. I never told you he agreed.
Oh, okay. Would you agree to that?
So I'd like to talk about your most compelling evidence for Christianity. Then you could give any argument against Islam.
Okay, I'd prefer to do it like that. At least then we know exactly what we're talking about. Because then at least you can challenge me in return on the Bible's preservation if you want to.
No, first I want to know your most compelling evidence for Christianity.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a problem then because we're not going to be able to agree on how this works,
Can I
isn't it?
talk about Christianity?
Can you talk about the perfect preservation?
I can, but that's why I told you.
When I speak to Muslims, right?
Yeah.
What I like to ask them is why are they a Muslim?
Yeah.
They say it's
Well, I'm
because
asking you why you're
yeah,
Christian.
but they say it's because of the perfect preservation of the Quran.
That's not why I'm Muslim.
No, but that's what a lot of Muslims say.
Well, I'm not a lot
so
of
when
Muslims.
I look, so what I've done, I've looked into the perfect preservation of the Quran, and I can't see how Muslims are claiming that it's true.
Okay, that's
So this is what I want to talk about. I want to look at some of the evidences that would show that the Quran hasn't been perfectly preserved, and I'd like to discuss that with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
To see what your opinion is of the matter.
well, if-
But this is one of the main reasons why Muslims in the West, particularly, say that they believe in Islam.
No, it's not my main reason.
Okay, it doesn't have to be your main
Yeah,
reason.
so then-
but this is why I want to talk
So
about
it's
it.
just not interesting for me.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's just not interesting.
so how about this? Why don't I challenge you on the perfect preservation of the Quran, and then you can ask me about another topic of your
Yeah, I
interest?
just told you the most compelling evidence for Christianity.
Okay. So I don't get to challenge you first.
Oh, you could challenge me. I just want to know the most compelling evidence for Christianity.
How about that? I can give you my answer
Yeah.
after we discuss the perfect preservation. How do you feel about that?
Whatever, man.
Yeah? Can we agree to that?
Whatever. Just go ahead.
I'm trying to be reasonable.
I know. Just go ahead. I just told you it's not interesting for me, but go for it.
Okay, so
All these cameras and microphones.
Keep it stepping, brother. Please. Yeah.
So, what Muslims tell me is that the Quran has been perfectly preserved,
Okay.
word for word, letter for letter, and dot for dot. That what's recited of the Quran today is exactly what Muhammad recited 1400 years ago
Yeah.
when he received the revelation.
Yeah.
But when I look at some of the earliest manuscripts, like the Birmingham Folio, for example, which consists of parts of three chapters, Surah Al-Kahf, Surah Maryam, and Surah Taha, I see variant readings
Okay.
that don't align with any of the 10 qira'at that we have of the Quran today.
Yeah.
Shows me, one, that the Quran cannot be preserved. In fact, for example,
That
we
doesn't
have...
follow.
No, let me explain.
Yeah.
Right? Come on. So when we look at the Birmingham Folio, for example, in Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 31, it says washdud instead of ushdud. In the 10 canonical readings of the Quran today, all say ushdud. But in the reading of the Birmingham Folio, it says washdud. Now, according to Dr. Alba Fideli, that reading is attributed to the Codex of Ibn Masud.
Yeah.
And we know that Ibn Masud, according to the hadith, I think it's Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 4999, he was one of the four who were recommended by Muhammad himself to learn the recitation of the Quran.
Yeah.
Yet his reading is not found in any of the 10 qira'at. So I wondered to myself, how can the Quran be perfectly preserved when none of the 10 qira'at contain the reading washdud, which is found in the Birmingham folio. So this would also mean then that the Birmingham folio that we have today in Birmingham, I don't know if you've seen it yet, is not 100% true to what we have of the Quran today, within Hafs and Asim or the rest of the qira'at. Another thing that I have a problem with.
Brother, you're going on forever.
Okay.
Man. Yeah.
I'll let you respond to that.
Yeah. Have you studied textual criticism before?
In what sense?
So when you look at manuscripts, how do you determine what is original, what is not, what is a variant reading, what is an unoriginal reading, what is a scribal error? How do you determine these things?
Well, I can tell you why it's not a scribal error.
No, I didn't say it is.
Yeah, but
I'm saying how is it?
So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the evidence from experts.
Yeah.
Right. So what I cited in Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 31, that comes from Dr. Albert Fideli. Well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
It's not a scribal error.
I didn't say it is. You're not answering, brother. You're not.
Okay.
Just
How do I?
The conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I'm asking you, how is it that you determine if a text is a scribal error or a variant, whether it's original, whether it's not original, whether the text belongs to a family of texts, whether it's a text that is whose origin is unknown?
Yeah.
How do you determine these things?
Okay, so when it comes to this particular chapter and verse, right, the reading washdud, as I mentioned before, that's found in the codicy, or what we have of the codicy of Ibn Masud.
Okay, can you pull that up?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Give me a second. Can I ask you to hold this for a second?
No, just one second. So, which narration are you citing?
Which narration?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So, how do you know that it belongs in, was Ibn Mas'ud's codex, you said?
Yeah.
So, how do you know it belongs
Okay,
in
yeah,
Ibn Mas'ud's
I'll show you, yeah.
No,
So,
I want primary sources, please.
okay, well, let me first refer to Dr. Albert
No,
Fideli.
I don't care. I want primary sources.
Okay,
please.
okay. Let me. I can give you the primary source as well.
Yeah,
I'm
so
happy to
primary
do that.
source.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the source that Dr. Albert Fideli cites is Zamashari al-Kasaf.
Sorry, what?
Zamakhshari. Yeah.
Yeah, can you pull up the narration?
I'll see if I can get that.
Yeah.
But this is what she. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So give me a second. Whilst I don't have that to hand, so it might take me a while. I'm just going to be honest with you.
You should have that.
What I have on hand is this. This is Dr. Albert Fideli's thesis. Let me explain.
He's an Orientalist, is he not?
It's a woman.
Or she's an Orientalist, yeah?
Yeah. So let me. What do you mean by Orientalist?
She studies preservation of the Quran.
Yeah, she looks like ancient
She's a Western
manuscripts.
academic, yeah? Yeah, okay. I'm not familiar with her works.
Okay.
That's why I asked you for primary sources.
Okay.
So whatever she's quoting from a Zamakhshari, we first must know whether the narration is authentic or not first.
Okay.
If it is authentic, then the verdict from that would be that this reading would be a shadh reading.
Okay.
If it's not authentic, then this reading is not considered to begin with.
Okay, so for the sake of argument, if this is found within the reading or the codex of Ibn Masud, how would that affect your view of what's being said here?
So if it's authentic and it goes back to Ibn Mas'ud's codex, it would just mean that it's a shadh reading.
What does that mean?
So it's a reading that's not multiply independently attested. You understand? So then it doesn't matter for us anyway. There's many shadh readings.
Well, now I'm trying to understand. Are you saying that? So wait, let me ask you this.
Just listen.
Okay.
When you say 10 canonical readings, why are they 10 canonical? What makes them canonical?
Well, we have to talk about Ibn Mujahid. We have to talk.
You see,
of Malik Razum, if you want me to say that.
Brother, you're confused.
Bro, I'm not.
Yeah, you're pretty confused, man.
Bro,
I'm saying,
what
makes it canonical?
Let's not do that stuff.
No, it's just how I am.
Come on, let's not do that stuff. I'm trying to be nice.
I'm being nice too. I didn't say anything wrong.
All right. You're saying I'm confused, but no. You're saying that I'm confused, right? My point is this: in one of the earliest manuscripts that you have, the Birmingham Folio, which has been carbon dated 568 AD up until 645 AD, although we don't know the actual dating of the ink that's on the parchment. Right? Now, some will say that this is like a 7th century document around that period of time. It has a reading washdud, and it's been attributed to Ibn.
Brother, you're just repeating yourself
But
now.
this is the point that this is the point that I wanna get to.
Yeah.
This reading in the Birmingham Folio, is it something that Muhammad recited?
No.
Or it's not?
No.
Although it's attributed to Ibn Masud.
If it's a shad reading, then we have no evidence that the Prophet recited.
So you're saying
We can
then to
only-
me then, just to clarify.
Listen, this is why I asked you
Okay.
what canonical readings are.
Okay.
What are they? This is the problem that you have.
Okay.
What's in a canonical reading?
Well, the
It's a reading that's massively attested.
Okay, mutawatir.
Okay,
I hear what you're saying.
mutawatir.
I hear what you're saying.
Right? Okay.
Okay.
There are many readings that are not mutawatir. Yes? That are attributed to companions.
Okay.
Yes?
Okay, go on.
Okay. Are there readings that are attributed to companions that are not mutawatir?
So, I just need to understand then. Are you saying then here in the Birmingham Folio that it doesn't contain 100% of the Quran that you have today? That's what I need to understand that, because the reason why wait. Let me just
no, brother, you just asked.
Liviano, let me. This is important.
There's not even a
this is-
claim that it contains.
Let
100%.
me.
It's 3 pages.
Let me tell you why I'm saying this.
Yeah.
There are Muslims in this park.
Brother, don't tell me about Muslims in this park. You're talking to me.
Let me.
You're talking to me.
Okay. So just to confirm,
Yeah.
just to make sure, you're saying that the Birmingham Folio,
Yeah.
that's in Birmingham today,
It's 99% accurate.
so it's not 100% Quran.
No, nobody ever claimed it's 100%.
People have claimed
No.
that's 100%.
Who did?
People have claimed.
Who did?
Smile to Jenna's claimed that. He said 100%
I'm
word
not Smile
accurate.
to Jannah, brother.
I'm saying,
Go talk to
you know,
Smile
but
to
I'm
Jannah
bringing
if
it
you
up as a
want.
point. It's a fair point.
Yeah, so if you go to Islamic Awareness,
So how do
just
you
look,
know?
Just look.
Okay.
If you go to IslamicAwareness.com, they study these manuscripts.
Yeah.
It'll tell you there's a 99% match.
Okay, so let
Not
me ask you this
100%
question
match.
then. How do you know then that this reading, washdud, Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 30.
Because-
Wait, hold on. Let me ask the question.
Yeah.
How do you know that this reading in the Birmingham Folio, Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 31,
Yeah.
is not the correct reading,
Because it's not massively attested.
not massively attested?
Yes.
So why would you say that this is the older manuscript? So you have the older manuscript.
Doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. I'll
doesn't.
tell you why it matters.
It doesn't. So,
You have-
so listen. This is why I asked you,
Sorry, can I have this?
have you studied textual criticism yet? Because you haven't. Just because a manuscript is early,
Yeah.
it doesn't necessitate that the manuscript is more original.
Even
or
if
that
it's
it has more
attributed to
original
Ibn
reading.
Masud.
Even if it's attributed to Ibn Masud. The manuscript is not attributed to Ibn Masud.
The
reading is attributed
Yeah, so
to Ibn
even
Masud.
if that's
That's why-
attributed, yeah.
And by the way, we have not even established that it actually goes back to Ibn Masud. You just gave me a random quote of a Zamakhshari saying it. We haven't even gone and looked at the chain of narration. Anyways, that's besides the point. I know you don't have it on you, so I'm not going to give you a hard time.
That's fair.
The point is, okay, if this reading is established to go back to Ibn Masud,
Yeah.
okay? Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a pleasure. Right? If any reading goes back to a companion, and this reading is not mutawatir,
Yeah.
we have no epistemic justification to conclude that it goes back to the Prophet.
Okay.
We're only epistemically justified in concluding that a reading goes back to the Prophet if it is massively transmitted.
Okay.
That's why we have the 10 canonical readings based on the 7 modes or the 7 ahruf.
Based
So-
on the 7 modes or the 7 ahruf?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Do you know the 7 ahruf?
The Sabia ahruf, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm familiar with
Sab'a
this.
ahruf.
So
Yeah.
are you saying that the 10 qira'at contain the 7 ahruf?
Yes.
Where's your evidence for that?
Yeah, so the evidence for that is this, okay? The Prophet, peace be upon him, says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran in 7 modes, okay? 7 modes of recitation. Now, these 7 modes are 7 alternative readings, or 7 variant readings, okay? These 7 readings, okay, or the 10 qira'at, and there's many qira'at, but there's 10 canonical qira'at, these are different combinations based on these readings.
Okay.
Okay? So imagine you have 7 digits and you are told to make 7 passcodes or 10 passcodes based on these 7 digits, right? These digits would or these combinations, these passcodes would include all of these or all these digits. Do you understand?
Okay.
Every single one of them, because each reading is based on these 7. So this is the difference between the ahruf and the qira'at.
So you're saying it's 7 modes of reciting the Quran.
There's 7 alternative readings and variant
So
readings.
consonantal differences then.
What do you mean by that?
So I mean, different words, not necessarily.
Yes.
So some people will
Yes.
say that it's dialects.
No, it's different.
You're not
it's different,
saying that it's
different
dialects.
words and different meanings.
And you're saying 100% of the 7 ahruf
Yeah.
is contained within the 10 qira'at.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to show half by half. You just say that's all within there. How would you be able to prove that claim that each of the? Are you saying that each qira'ah has a selection of the 7?
Yes.
And then 100% is found within the 10?
Yes.
How would you be able to establish that claim?
Okay, so I just told you these 7 ahruf
Yeah.
were revealed. The Prophet recited them. The Prophet taught them. Okay?
Yeah.
And when the Prophet taught these, and as Quran teachers came and knew the Quran and started teaching others, transmitting the Quran, it is reasonable to assume that these 7 ahruf are contained in these transmitted readings.
Said to assume.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Sorry.
Please, brother, let me have the
Hold
one-on-one
on,
because
hold on.
I'm surrounded by Muslims. Come on.
Sorry. I just want to let you know history is probabilistic.
Yeah, but you said it's. But we're talking about the words of Allah here.
Yeah, I understand. But
You said wait.
We're making.
Wait.
This is
important. This is
don't tell me
important.
to wait. I'm talking, brother.
Yeah, but you
I'm
said
answering
assume.
your question.
Okay.
Don't tell me to wait in the middle of answering your question. Remember, we're trying to make a historical case. I have a historical hypothesis. History is probabilistic. That's why I'm giving you a reasonable hypothesis based on the reasonable relevant data.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So, yes, we could have a certain level of certainty. It's called epistemic certainty. There's a difference between metaphysical certainty and epistemic certainty. We are epistemically certain that the 7 are preserved in the canonical readings.
Okay. So before you said the word assume,
Yeah.
and it sounds to me that that's like one big trust me, bro. That
No,
these
it's
7.
not.
And let me explain why. The hadith does teach that the Quran was revealed in Sab'a ahruf. And then Muhammad said to recite of it in whichever way is easier for you. Now there is dispute about what the 7 ahruf are, dialects, modes of recitation, etc., etc., etc. I can't see how you can prove that the 7 ahruf are contained within the 10 qira'at.
I just told you.
But you said you assume.
Yeah.
Now this
So-
is. Let me land,
Go
please.
ahead.
Because I need to keep the thoughts in my head. This is meant to be the word of Allah.
Yeah.
This is something that He revealed to
Yeah.
Muhammad,
Yeah.
and then Muhammad shared it with the companions and so on and so forth. How can there be any assumption? No, but this is important. How can there be any assumption about
Brother.
whether it is
Yeah.
within the 10 qira'at or
Yeah.
not?
This is why I told you you're confused. Okay?
Okay.
Because any historical event must be evaluated with a set of pre-assumptions based on the relevant data.
Okay.
Do you assume the sun will rise tomorrow?
Yes.
Do you know, are you metaphysically certain it will rise?
I can't be 100% certain.
Okay, so you assume the sun will rise.
Based on-
Is that a big trust me, bro?
Well, it's based on evidence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not a big trust me, bro.
So yeah, but I'm asking you
Okay,
for
good.
your
then-
evidence.
Right. So the relevant data
Yeah.
shows that the sun will probably rise tomorrow. We can
Okay.
assume that.
Based
Yes?
on it happening multiple
Based on the
times.
relevant data.
Okay, so where's your
now
relevant
I'm gonna
data
tell
for
you,
this?
The relevant data is there's hundreds of massively attested chains through which the Quran is transmitted going back to the Prophet. If the Prophet taught, because you're doing an internal critique, internally, it is already pre-assumed that the Prophet taught all 7 ahruf.
Yeah.
Okay? And if already pre-assumed that the Prophet taught all 7 ahruf, because you're doing an internal critique, then we can assume that all 7 ahruf were made or were transmitted via the multiple massively independent chains of transmission.
Okay.
It's that simple. So the relevant data shows that everything the Prophet taught was transmitted in these chains of narrations.
Okay.
Because all of them go back to the Prophet.
Okay, so if it all goes back to the Prophet, then that would mean that within the 10 qira'at, there shouldn't be any contradictions.
There shouldn't be, no.
There shouldn't be one contradiction.
There are
so
no
if there is a contradiction within the 10 qira'at, then that would prove that the 10 qira'at can't contain the full
It wouldn't prove it.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't, because now this is a different category. You're not asking whether it's preserved anymore. You're asking is, what is preserved? Is it theologically coherent or is it theologically contradictory?
No, it's still.
So
no,
now,
no,
just
no,
let me finish. If you
on.
go to the point where if this qira'ah contradicts the other, okay, Now you're arguing against the Quran theologically. You are no longer arguing against preservation.
But that
you have
is
conceded preservation.
No, wait, hold on a second. My claim about the perfect preservation of the Quran is based on Surah 15, verse 9. So Allah pledged upon Himself to preserve the Quran.
Yes.
That would include all 7 ahruf.
Yes.
If you say that the 7 ahruf are contained within the 10 qira'at, right, and you say that we should assume this based on it having mutawatir, according to what some Muslim scholars may say, right, then the logical thing to do would be to look at the qira'at and compare them to each other. If the qira'at contradict one another, then first and foremost, how can this be evidence of preservation?
Okay.
Does
Just
Allah
one second.
give?
Can contradictions be preserved?
Yeah, contradictions can be preserved.
So thank you. So contradictions don't prove that it's not preserved. Contradictions prove there's a theological issue, not an issue of preservation.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
understand?
I hear what you're saying. Contradictions can be preserved. But the
Yes.
point of me bringing this argumentation is to say this, and I'll slightly repeat myself again, just because I want to make it clear. If Allah has pledged upon Himself to preserve the Quran, if this is the speech of Allah, this is the word of Allah, and you don't believe that Allah can contradict Himself, then if you say that the 7 ahruf are contained
You're
within...
arguing another argument now. You're saying
It's within preservation.
No, it's not. It's not
let me
within
tell you why.
preservation.
Let me tell you why.
It's not
Let me
within
tell you why.
preservation.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
I don't accept that the 7 ahruf are contained within the 10 qira'at
You have to argue
for
for that.
one reason. I'll give you one reason. Because there's no consensus on what the 7
Did I
ahruf
say
is.
there's consensus?
No, you said it's modes of
Did I
recitation.
say there's
No,
consensus?
I'm making my point.
Okay, so if
So
there's
you
no,
said it's
just one
modes of...
second.
Yeah, okay.
If there's no consensus, then it follows that the 7 ahruf are not included?
To some degree, yes, and let me
No, it
explain
doesn't.
why. Let me explain why.
Okay.
Let me explain why.
What's the inference rule for that?
Let me
'Cause
explain why.
you're
Let
just-
me explain
you're just-
why.
You're just making things up.
No,
dude.
no, I'm not just making
You
things
are.
up. I think
Yeah.
you're making things up to say that the 7 ahruf are contained within the 10
You
qira'at.
can't argue against it though.
But you can.
All right, go ahead.
We can talk
Try.
about Uthman's compilation.
Yeah, what about Uthman's compilation?
When he compiled the Quran,
Yeah.
right? It was in Sahih Al-Bukhari hadith number 4987. It talks about this, not compilation, sorry, the standardization of the Quran.
Yeah.
He used the Quran that was passed down from Abu Bakr to Hafsa.
That's not the only thing he used.
Or what did he use then?
You should know the hadith. You're arguing against
No,
preservation.
you tell me you tell me.
This is your sauce. So
But you
should
tell me,
know it.
like, you tell
All right.
me, what did
So
he use?
he used that, and he also needed 2 witnesses for each passage that
Where-
heard it directly
where's
from the
that
Prophet.
where's that in the hadith?
It's in the hadith, bro. Here, can you
Show
pull
me
it up?
show me that in the hadith.
It's funny that you haven't read this. Can you pull it up? Because my phone is dead. Can you pull it up quick?
Generation of Ali.
Yeah. You've never come across this before?
Which Bukhari is it?
I forgot the number. Let me just pull it up.
4968?
No, it's not in the same hadith. Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Are you sure?
Sorry. Hello, madam. Hey, don't stop.
It's like I've come to speak as God to bring people to Christ to speak about Catholicism. You see that? Catholicism.
It's not this. Zayn was given the honor. I think it's this one.
This doesn't mention the fact that they spoke.
This is a innocent American. Okay, here. So this is one of them.
What's the hadith, please?
This is Bukhari 4784.
Yeah.
So this is not the exact one I'm looking for, but this mentions the same thing. So it says, narrated Zayd ibn Thabit, when we collected the fragmentary manuscripts of the Quran into copies, I missed one of the verses of Surah Al-Ahzab, which I used to hear Allah's apostle reading. Finally, I did not find it with anybody except Khuzaym al-Ansari, whose witness was considered by Allah's apostle equal to the witness of 2 men. Okay?
Let me see this.
So, here. So, the context of this is that Zayd ibn Thabit was told to collect each verse and require 2 witnesses for each verse. So he says, okay, I went and did that, but one verse here in Surah Al-Ahzab, I only found 1 witness, who was Abu Khuzaym al-Ansari.
Yeah.
But I remembered the Prophet saying that his testimony is equal to 2.
Okay.
So then he completed the whole Quran, requiring 2 witnesses for each verse, except for 1 verse, he found 1 witness for it, but that man's witness was equal to 2 witnesses according to the Prophet.
Okay, so based on what you're saying there in that hadith, you're inferring that when Uthman standardized the Quran, because he had Zayd bin Thabit,
Yeah.
and he had 3 men from the Quraysh that were helping with the transcribing. You're inferring from them finding the last verse of, or the last 2 verses of Surah Al-Ahzab with this.
I'm not inferring. There was a direct command. I just can't find the hadith right now. This hadith.
Can you find me
is
that
also-
hadith? That's very important.
Yeah, but it's enough here. It tells you.
No,
right
I
there.
need that
So
hadith.
can you tell me what this means?
No, what you're saying. Okay, this is
brother.
Libiano, one second.
Just let me talk, bro. Let me talk. When I told you to pull out that passage narration, you said I don't have it on me. So I said, okay, I'm not going to give you a hard time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to take the time.
So now
I'm happy to take the time to find
Just one
it.
second. Now this is sufficient. There is a command directly. Please find it. Okay. There's a command directly for 2 witnesses for each passage. We're just trying to find it right now.
Yeah.
Because I wrote 2 witnesses at the top of sunnah.com there. This is sufficient because it actually infers that, like you said. Okay. So while we find it, can you tell me what this means?
Okay, let me respond to you.
Okay, just tell me what this means.
Please let me respond, please,
go on.
because what you're trying to show me is that there were 2 witnesses to
each
verify the Quran for each passage under Uthman's standardization. Right? But this is the problem that I have. When we look at the hadith, Bukhari 4987, where it talks about the Uthman compilation, and the one just before, 4986, where it talks about Abu Bakr, Uthman standardization, and the one just before in 4986, where it talks about Zayd collecting the Quran for Abu Bakr, that was the same Quran that they used to transcribe. Now, I don't see anywhere in the hadith of Uthman where they took other stuff, because it says that they were to make perfect copies. That's the word that they use in the English, to make perfect copies of the manuscripts that Uthman had asked from Hafsa. So I don't see why they were going to be getting materials from other people to make those copies. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So what does the hadith I just showed you say?
It says, it says, I understand what it says.
Okay, what does it
says that this Khuzaima had the witness of 2.
Okay, why did he need a witness of 2?
It doesn't say why he needed a witness of 2.
You can infer it very
and you
easily.
can't infer.
You can.
But this.
So he's compiling the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay. He found every verse. Except the last one, he had a problem with it.
No, he wasn't finding verses. You're wrong.
Just look.
No, you're wrong. No, wait. You're wrong here. You're wrong here. I don't know. Wait. No. I need to talk now. No. Wait, Libiano. You're actually wrong here.
Let me finish.
You're actually wrong here, Libiano.
You haven't even read the narration ever.
No, I know the narration.
Okay,
I'm citing the narration for you.
What is it?
No, it's
What's the narration?
4987.
Yeah. What is the narration?
It's Bukhari 4987.
No, what does it say?
What, the whole thing?
What does it say?
It talks the whole thing. You want me to tell you the whole thing?
What does it say?
Bro,
The one I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
What am I talking
It's about Khuzaima having a witness of 2.
Why does he need a
I
witness
know
of
why
2?
he has a witness of 2.
Why does he need a witness of 2?
Let me respond.
Can you tell me
Bro,
why he needs a
I'm
witness
losing
of 2?
my thought. I'm trying to have.
Tell me
There's
why he
something
needs
that
a
I need to
witness of
say.
2.
Let me say it. I let you speak before.
Go ahead.
You're mixing things up in the whole Uthman standardization, right? During Uthman's standardization, Zayd bin Thabit and the 3 men from the Quraysh were not going around finding Quranic material. That was 20 years earlier under Abu Bakr, when Abu Bakr ordered Zayd to collect the Quran from fragmentary scripts. When he did that, He then put that Quran together. It went from Abu Bakr to Umar and then to Hafsa. That manuscript then, hold on a second.
That was
Wait,
under
wait
Abu
one
Bakr.
second. Yes, that manuscript then was required by Uthman. Uthman then said to the men to make perfect copies of that. So they weren't looking for Quran.
I didn't say they were looking for Quran.
No, but this is why it's important.
Brother,
No, this is why it's important.
You're just waffling right
I'm
now.
not waffling.
Yes, you're waffling.
I'm telling you the history.
So, just
wait.
respond to the-
You're saying I'm
Hey, brother,
waffling, bro.
brother,
This is insane.
Brother, you gotta-
This is
down.
insane.
Calm down. Calm down.
This
Relax.
is. He says I'm waffling.
Relax. Relax.
Wait. He says I'm waffling, yeah, and I'm telling him the history.
Slipped out
Please
of my
find
hand.
that hadith.
So listen.
He's telling. Wait, hold on a second. He's saying that I'm waffling, yeah.
Talk forever, bro.
Right? I've listened to him when I'm talking about the history from the hadith. He's going on like during the standardization of Uthman that the Muslims, Zayd and the free men from the Quraysh were going around looking for Quranic material. That already happened in the time of Abu Bakr 20 years earlier. Right? So they were just making perfect copies. That's what they were doing. And even then, if we were to look at Abu Bakr's collection, it's questionable because Zayd was the only one doing
Are
that.
you done, brother? Yeah. Good? Okay, cool. So what were the two witnesses about?
You tell me.
You said you know already,
No,
right?
you tell me. I
Okay.
dispute.
So-
Here's my
all right,
claim.
okay, good.
Here's my
Okay,
claim.
good.
Here's
No,
my
brother,
claim.
brother.
Here's my claim.
Brother, you just
Libiano.
spoke for 5
Libiano.
minutes.
Here's my claim
You just spoke for
about
5
the
minutes,
witnesses.
brother.
I don't think. No, I've heard him. Bro, come on, let me. Libiano.
Yeah.
Libiano. When it comes to two witnesses, right? When it comes, let's say, to a compilation of the Quran, even under Abu Bakr, there were no two witnesses that verified the Quran. That's when Zayd collected.
Who are the two witnesses that were required up until the last verse they needed Khuzaymah for?
No, it doesn't say anything about that.
Lord have mercy.
It doesn't say it.
We just read the hadith, brother.
Tell me.
Please tell me when Zayd ibn Thabit said, I compiled all the verses,
Yeah.
except for the last one. I only found one.
No, he didn't say he
But remember-
compiled. You're making. This is why he's getting it wrong, guys.
Hey, brother. We're gonna.
No,
read it.
seriously. It doesn't say he
We're gonna
compiled.
go to the picture.
He was copying. He was transcribing. The compilation happened 20 years before.
Okay, cool.
Well, let me listen to what he's saying.
Listen. When I collected the fragmentary manuscripts of the Quran into copies, I missed one of the verses of Surah Al-Ahzab, which I used to hear Allah's Messenger reading. Finally, I did not find it with anyone except Khuzaym al-Ansari, whose witness was considered by Allah's Messenger equal to 2.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So, what was happening under Uthman, right?
Brother, no, I just need.
No,
why
you're
is he
missing-
why is he collecting each passage and needing two witnesses for
You're
it?
mixing stuff up here.
Lord
This is-
have mercy.
No, this is important.
Why is
Libiano,
he-
this is
why
very
is he-
important.
Brother, you're not. You're
You know
just
what?
not- you're not
Let me
engaging.
go to the hadith.
You're not engaging.
I'm engaging, but I'm trying
Why
to.
does he need
I'm
two
trying to
witnesses
correct
for
you.
each fragment?
I'm trying to correct you.
I don't want you to correct me.
No.
Why does
no,
he
no.
need two witnesses
Libiano,
for
this
each
is
fragment?
breaking down.
Are you gonna keep talking? Are you gonna engage or no?
It doesn't say for
Are you
each
gonna
fragment.
engage?
It doesn't say
Okay,
that.
let's read it again. Let's read it again. When we collected the fragmentary manuscript of the Quran into copies, I missed one of the verses of Surah Al-Ahzab.
Missed it from what?
He missed one of the verses.
From what
right?
did he miss it
He missed
from?
one of the verses.
From
It doesn't
what?
say. It
I know
doesn't say.
I know what
I
it's
missed one
from.
of the just listen.
What-
Just listen. Just listen.
It doesn't
No,
say
just,
that.
Just wait. Just listen. He missed one of the verses, right? Okay, cool. Does he know it?
From what?
Does he know the verse himself?
How do you know that he knows
Just
the
follow.
verse?
Because he doesn't remember the Quran. Zayd ibn Thabit was taught about.
Where's your evidence of Zayd?
He taught. The Prophet himself taught Zayd ibn Thabit. Zayd ibn Thabit was the main guy that they appointed to collect the Quran because he was the best. He was one of the best in the Quran.
When Zayd,
So,
okay.
Anyway, so
no, let me respond. Let me respond,
finish
bro.
now. Let me finish now. Let me finish now. So he missed one verse. I did not find it with anyone except Khuzaym al-Ansari,
Okay.
whose witness was considered by the Prophet equal to 2.
Yes.
Why did he need a witness equal to 2 for the last passage that he didn't find with anyone else?
First and foremost, I need to correct you on something. This is very important, though. You're not listening to me.
So you
engage
see,
with me.
So remember, you started
Libiano,
the conversation
engage with
with
me.
Birmingham
No,
manuscript.
I listened to
that
you.
failed.
What do you mean I didn't fail?
Now we're in Zayd ibn Thabit. That's failing. Now
Libiano.
we're going to the first compilation. That failed.
It's not the first
All
compilation.
Of that, and we still haven't talked
This is-
about the best compelling evidence for Christianity. I'm waiting for that.
Libiano. this, what you're talking about here is not the first compilation. The
Lord
first
have mercy.
compilation happened under Abu Bakr 20 years
Nice.
earlier.
That's amazing.
Right? Okay, now you're being patronizing.
I'm not, because
All right, I'm
you-
going to say what I
you
need
just
to
keep
say.
repeating yourself. Yeah.
What's going on here is that when Zayd was copying from that manuscript, you're not even interested.
Just finish, brother. Finish.
This is so sad.
I already told you, this is the tactic here. They don't want to talk about Christianity. They want to talk about random shit, right? I already entertained it. Birmingham manuscript didn't work. This is not working. All of that to avoid Christianity.
That's not the case.
It is.
I'm happy to discuss with you about Christianity.
not.
But let me.
If you were happy,
let
you
me
would've
let me
already
just
done it.
let me get through this.
All right.
Right. I don't think you're being very reasonable at the moment.
I'm
And
so
the reason why I
reasonable.
say that,
I'm so
because
reasonable,
I
brother.
heard you out. Let
Yeah.
me. You're calling this a compilation. This was not a compilation. This was not the time when Zayd was collecting random fragments from here, there,
That
and
doesn't
everywhere.
matter. That's besides
I
the
didn't
point.
interrupt you.
Yeah.
I didn't
Besides the
interrupt
point,
you.
bro.
Let me go ahead, please. Right? Because I'm trying to keep my thoughts.
Are they
When-
all like this? I don't get it. Like, this is the third guy today, bro. This is the third guy today. It's
If
the
you
same
look
thing.
around, it's all Muslims.
Doesn't
I don't-
matter.
It
What
does
does that mean?
matter.
What does that
Let me
mean?
just have the conversation with him, Amir.
Go ahead.
Come on, be fair, man.
Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make here is that you're conflating stuff that happened in Abu Bakr's time with Uthman's time. During Uthman's time, Zayd wasn't collecting the Quran. He wasn't doing that. He had done that already during Abu Bakr's time. During Uthman's time, he was only transcribing it with the free men from the Quraysh. So whatever he missed it from the manuscripts that were meant to be with Hafsa. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So when he then went to Khuzaima bin Tabi al-Ansari and said that he had the witness of two, that has nothing to do with the compilation. Because when Zayd compiled the Quran under Abu Bakr, Abu Bakr said to him to search for it by himself. In that
Are you
compilation,
done now? I've already heard all of this. You've repeated it 6 times.
every time I get to the crux, you cut
Get
me
to
off.
the crux, bro.
Every time
Get
I
to
get
it,
to
man.
the crux,
Bro,
you
get
cut me
to
off.
it, brother. We're
This is-
dying. Get to the crux.
This is,
Get to it.
yeah, man, this guy in my ear.
Has he proved the Quran is not preserved?
You literally said that the Birmingham manuscript is not 100% preserved.
It's 99%.
Yeah, so you're
That's what
yeah, and that's
Islamic-
one of the
that's what
oldest
they're-
manuscripts.
that-
That's one of the oldest manuscripts, if not the oldest
Oh.
manuscript that
Oh,
you have of the
interesting. Is
Quran.
the oldest manuscript of the Bible preserved?
We're talking about the Quran. We can go to that. So
All right,
okay,
now,
we can
now
talk
I'm
about
gonna
that.
ask about the Bible.
Okay,
Is
but
the
let me
oldest-
conclude on
is-
this. Let
all
me
right,
let me
Go
conclude
ahead.
on this, right? And I'm gonna just make my final point about Zayd bin Thabit because this is very important.
All right.
During Abu Bakr, Zayd bin Thabit, you were right to say, was ordered to collect the Quran because he was the one who would write down the divine inspiration for Muhammad during his lifetime.
Yeah.
When Zayd collected the Quran,
Yeah.
right, he did it collecting it on parchment, thin white stones,
Yeah.
scapular, and from the chests of men.
Nice.
So he didn't actually have full memorization of the Quran,
Yeah.
nor was it fully collected at the time.
Yeah.
Why? Because if it was, then he wouldn't have to go searching for the Quran in random places and from random people.
Yeah.
Now people say, and it's not recorded in the hadith, that there were 2 witnesses.
Yeah.
There were 2 witnesses that approved each Quranic material that Zayd collected, but this is not found in the hadith.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not found in
I
the
just
hadith.
don't have it on me, but it is.
No, it's not found.
It is.
That's why
If
when
you
you
did your research,
no,
you
no, no,
would've
no.
found it.
I know the research.
Yeah.
Right. That's why when I asked you to search for it, you couldn't find it.
Sorry, am I sitting at home on my computer or am I
No, no,
standing
you
in
don't.
Speaker's
It
Corner?
does. You don't have
Oh,
it.
okay, that's what I
Right.
thought. I don't have it?
Go and
Okay.
find it then, because you're making the claim
Yeah.
that Zayd bin Thabit. You're saying it with assurance,
Brother,
that when
brother,
it came
can you
to
get to it? Can you
Okay.
just come on?
when it
Yeah.
came to Zayd, you're saying Zayd collected the Quran,
Yeah.
but that's not what he was doing when you're talking about Khuzaima bin Thabit al-Ansari having the witness of 2.
Yeah.
He was transcribing the Quran, and then he made copies, and then he sent it out to different Muslim provinces, and he
Nice.
found that he missed the verse.
All right.
That's
so
what it was.
So now where is the non-preservation of the Quran?
well,
Remember, you're arguing for the Quran not being preserved.
Yeah.
What's the argument?
you
haven't given an argument,
My
bro.
argument, well, if you would let me get to the point, the point was this: when I brought up Abu Bakr, when I brought up Uthman, Uthman in particular was about the 7 ahruf. He standardized the Quran and he then said to everyone else, and that's when you brought up the 2 witnesses, and that's where we came off trail a little
Okay,
bit.
so can you give
So
the
let me-
argument now?
Yeah. So
Oh, I'm getting
what
so
he-
bored. Man.
Okay, so
I'm getting so bored.
Okay, man.
Come on,
Come on.
get to it, man. You're
So-
boring me, bro.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
Let me just.
I'm bored.
People did say you were difficult. Now I can see why.
I know I'm difficult, brother. Just get to it, please.
So in Jami at-Tirmidhi, Hadith 3104,
yeah.
we can see that Ibn Masud disagrees with the standardization of the Quran under Uthman.
Yeah.
Uthman later on says, after the copies have been made, to burn the other Quranic fragments and whole copies of the Quran.
How does that refute the mass attestation?
It does, because you're talking about the 7 ahruf.
So 1 second.
Wait.
Hold on.
No. I'm making my point. I'm making my point. No. You asked me a question and I said it
I'm
does.
literally talking to a mental health patient right now, bro. Brother, can we talk back and forth, brother? You keep going on forever, man. I want to speak.
This is the guy you wanted me to talk to?
Yes. Brother, you just keep going on and on and on and on. You don't let anybody talk.
No, talk.
Remember, the argument is the Quran is not preserved. I told you that's not the
Perfectly
case.
preserved.
It's not the case because the Quran is massively transmitted. What is your refutation to the mass transmission of the Quran?
Well, this is my refutation.
Yes.
One of them. I was going to the hadith of Uthman. Okay, you keep doing that, bro.
Brother, I can't move. Brother, like, come on, man. All right.
I went to the Qira'at. I was showing you that there are contradictions within the Qira'at.
You didn't show any contradictions.
I was going to show you that there were contradictions, let me correct myself, within the Qira'at.
Yeah.
You didn't want that.
I didn't say I don't want it.
You said there was a
your
different
argument
argument.
doesn't follow.
But I'm saying it does. Because if you're saying that it's massively transmitted, then you're saying that it goes back to the Prophet.
Yes.
And then if you're saying that it goes back to the Prophet, then you're saying that what has been transmitted is the words of Allah Himself. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Is that what? So you're saying that it's not the words of Allah?
No, I'm not saying that either. Remember, focus. You're making a category error. One argument deals with preservation.
Yeah.
The other argument deals with the coherency and the theological stableness of the text itself.
Okay.
It could be the case that both contradictory passages go back to the Prophet, preserve 100%, and yet there could be a contradiction under that if you want to argue for
I understand what
contradiction.
you're saying, yeah.
So if there is a contradiction, it doesn't mean it's not preserved. And if it's not preserved, it doesn't mean there's a contradiction. Okay? It doesn't follow at all.
No,
do you have any argument against the mass transmission of the Quran? Please.
Yes, I do.
All right, what is it? Come
Okay.
on.
If you look at the compilation of the Quran under Abu Bakr, Zayd was ordered to collect the Quran from parchment, from Finn's white stones, from the chest of men, from scapula. There is no evidence to suggest within the hadith that he had any witnesses to affirm the Quranic materials that he was collecting goes back to Muhammad. Now, if you want to talk about mutawatir, and you want to say that the Quran has been attested to, and that it goes back to the Prophet, then how comes in the compilation of the Quran, in Bukhari, hadith number 4986, it doesn't say that Zayd had any witnesses. It doesn't. When Zayd was collecting it, he was collecting it of materials, random materials, things that he found here, things that he found there.
How does that refute?
This is
Pay
refuting.
attention.
I know what you're saying.
You're
I
not
know what you're
responding.
saying.
Pay
I am
attention.
responding.
Pay attention.
You're talking about mutawatir.
No, you don't even know what mutawatir is. Pay attention. You don't even know what that is, okay? There is multiple independent, massively attested chains going back to the Prophet that independently corroborate one another across a network of transmitters from different political and geographical areas. What is the refutation to that?
Okay, this is my refutation. I literally was explaining it to you. I'm not going to explain the whole thing again.
Yeah.
When Zayd collected the Quran, right?
Lord,
he had no witnesses. Show me. Okay, here's what I ask you. Where are the witnesses of the Quran that Zayd collected?
How does
where are the
Let's
witnesses?
say, listen,
you're talking about
your name was
attestation,
Thomas?
Timothy. You're talking about
Timothy.
attestations.
Timothy.
Multiple attestations.
Timothy, you're not listening, brother.
I'm listening
Okay?
to you.
What are the independent chains? What are they? They are witnesses.
Okay, so
that is what they are. So listen.
Okay.
So listen. When witness A corroborates witness B,
Yeah.
who corroborates witness C, who corroborates witness D,
Yeah.
all the way back, all the way to Z, okay?
Yeah.
Those corroborate each other. What is that? What can we imply from these
Okay,
corroborations?
so in that corroboration that you're talking about,
yeah,
where is that in the compilation of the Quran?
sir.
You're not listening to me.
You're just
No, you're not listening to me. You're ignoring the compilation.
You're ignoring.
No, you're ignoring
You're
it.
ignoring. I'm making an argument for the oral preservation of the Quran.
The oral preservation
via
of the
mass
Quran.
transmission.
The oral
pay
preservation of the
attention. Yes.
Okay.
Via mass
So-
transmission.
so, okay.
If witness A corroborates witness B, who corroborates witness C, all the way down, what is the argument and what is the likelihood that all of these are not or are not going back to the Prophet, although they all corroborate each other?
Okay, this is what I'm saying in response to what you're saying. If you're talking about the oral preservation of the Quran,
Yeah.
then again I would use the same hadith. Why? Because when Umar bin al-Khattab saw that the Qur'an of the Quran were being killed in battles, he said that he was afraid that a large part of the Quran would be lost.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And then he passed the idea on to Abu Bakr that he should collect the Quran and put it into a book. He appointed, let me think, bro, it's hard, man. I'm surrounded by Muslims.
So lost. Like it's crazy.
You keep saying that, but
You're not tracking. You can't track.
You keep cutting me,
Keep
man.
track. You can't track. That's
To be honest,
why.
this is really bad.
I know.
No,
It's
seriously.
bad for you.
No, it's bad for you. You're
Bad
not
for you,
allowing me
bro.
to speak, bro.
Brother.
Your friends interrupting.
Remember.
Let me get to the point.
Remember.
At this
What
point,
is my argument?
you're talking about the oral preservation.
What is my
You're
argument?
talking about the mutawatir.
Articulate.
Bro, you're talking about the oral preservation.
Yeah.
You're saying that there's a chain of people that affirm.
Okay,
that
who are
it goes
these
back
people?
to. Well, I don't know their names in particular.
Okay, yeah,
right.
I'm saying, but who are they? What are they?
Well, they're people that may have been Sahaba, then going on to the Tabi'een, and then
So there's Prophet. Just one second. There's
yeah.
Prophet, teaches a Sahabi, who maybe teaches another or a Tabi'in.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have a list of teachers going back to the Prophet. Yes.
I understand.
Is that true?
I don't think it's true, but I understand.
Is that the case?
I understand that's what you guys
Okay,
say.
is that
yes.
the case?
I-
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
And you have multiple of these chains. Yes.
Okay.
Multiple of these chains.
Okay.
Hundreds.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
I'm not sure about.
now.
I haven't checked the chains.
Now, is there a common link in these transmissions?
You're not getting what I'm
No,
saying.
is there a common link?
You're not getting what I'm saying.
Is there a common link transmitter?
Let me just.
Do you know what a common link transmitter is?
I don't know what a common link.
Okay, so how could you even talk about mutawatir if you don't know what a common link transmitter is?
You're missing my argument.
You're missing my argument.
Okay, let me say what I need to say, please. When it comes to common link stuff, that's not what my argumentation is.
That's my argument.
I know, I hear that.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is the compilation process.
That doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
It doesn't.
It's my argument.
It doesn't.
It's my
Your
argument.
argument-
wait.
your argument
Are you
fails.
literally telling
It's
me?
irrelevant.
Are you literally telling me then that the compilation, which is recorded in the hadith, means
Irrelevant.
nothing?
Irrelevant.
When you reckon,
Irrelevant.
it's not irrelevant. I'll tell you
Irrelevant.
why.
Irrelevant.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you
Irrelevant.
why.
Yeah.
You say that Zayd knew the Quran, 100%.
It's irrelevant whether you know it or not.
Let me say what I'm saying, man.
It's irrelevant.
Please. Let me speak, man. You don't have to be here.
Yeah.
My argumentation is based on this hadith, right? You can't keep saying that it's irrelevant. You got to allow me to say what I need to
Your
say.
argument doesn't follow.
You can't. Let me just say
It
what I need to
doesn't follow.
say. Let
It's
me
not
just say what I
valid.
need to
Doesn't
say.
follow, brother.
You saying it's not valid doesn't
I
mean that
showed
it's
you why. Because the preservation of the Quran is demonstrated in the mass transmission of the Quran going back to multiple common link transmitters.
Okay, so when Zayd collected the Quran,
Doesn't matter when
bro,
Zayd collected
let
the
me,
Quran.
Let me say what I need to say.
Wouldn't matter, bro.
You're not listening to me. Yeah, it does matter because the Quran that Zayd collected. No, the Quran
no
that
compilation, it would
Zayd.
not matter.
The Quran that Zayd collected ended up being the one that Uthman standardized.
So what?
No, this is why it's important,
So
right?
what?
Let me say what I need to say. He's now appealing to oral preservation. He's already admitted that the Birmingham folio is not 100% accurate, which is fine.
You're just restating our position.
Yeah.
That's like saying you admitted that Jesus is the second hypostasis of God. Well, that's what you believe already. What did I admit? That's what we believe.
That's not the case. There are
That is the
Muslims here who
case.
believe that the Birmingham.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not them.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Like, what do you? There are Christians who believe.
You're
doesn't
not,
matter,
okay,
bro.
Let me just finalize my argument. Let me just finalize my argument, right?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, I'm surrounded. I got Muslim here, I got Muslim here, Muslim here,
Bro,
Muslim here.
we're not
No,
sorry.
he's a Christian. He's
What are we? What are we?
It's
Animals?
in my ears.
What are we?
Yeah,
Animals or
but
something?
I've got so many people in my ear.
Brother,
I'm
only
trying
like only two people are
Yeah,
talking.
I've got so many people in my ear. Yeah. let me say this, right? And I feel like you're not going to allow me to say what I need to say.
Hurry
You're
up.
making the
'cause
point.
You're very slow when you talk.
Yeah, but I can't rush. This is how I am, man.
All right,
if I
go
speak fast, then I'm not going to be accurate.
All right, go ahead.
You know, you're punishing me for my character.
Not
Like,
punishing
what's
you, bro.
that all
You're
about?
just repeating yourself.
Yeah, but if you
I've
say
heard the
I'm
same
slow,
thing.
like that's
No,
not.
I didn't say you're slow, brother.
When I
Don't
speak.
twist my words. I said your speech is slow. You
Okay,
talk
yeah,
very slowly.
I tried to be clear.
I didn't say you're slow.
Okay,
It's two
fair
different
play.
things.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Fair play.
Yeah,
You're making the point about the oral preservation of the Quran,
yeah.
right? According to the hadiths, right? We know.
Brother, come on, brother. Come on, brother. What are you? Oh, what's going on?
I'm telling you, summarize.
Brother, if your head can't handle this, then don't come to the park.
Speaker's going. Come on.
Man,
Don't come to Speaker's Corner.
Coffee left, I think. Maybe you should probably.
You need
every
some
time
water,
I'm
brother?
trying,
Give us some
I
water.
got some here. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
I was expecting this brother to become a Muslim a few years ago. Because
you're-
you've been refuted so many times. When I
You're
keep
chatting.
seeing you, I
You're
thought,
actually chatting
I'm gonna
nonsense.
say
You're
something
actually
different.
chatting. To be
I'm
fair,
expecting you to become
uncle. To
Muslim.
be fair, you're actually chatting crap. To be fair, my point is this, man. And I really just want to make the point, right?
Are we ever going to talk about Christianity?
We will. Let me just make the point,
All right.
please. It's very,
Just wondering.
yeah, and I know as soon as I bring up Zayd, everyone's gonna go, oh, and we're gonna do this whole thing again.
No, we're not. Just
You know,
hurry up.
this is the point I'm trying to make. You're appealing to the oral preservation of the Quran.
Yeah.
You're saying that it's been orally preserved. Now, I'm looking at the compilation of the Quran under Zayd bin Thabit, right? When he had to collect the Quran on random pieces of material from random men. We don't know who these men were. We don't know where he got the Quran from, and there's no way that we can attest that this is actually the Quran that was revealed by Muhammad himself. There's no way of knowing that from the
can't.
hadith. No, there isn't.
No, we can't. Do you want me to tell you?
Tell me how, according
Okay.
to the hadith.
Yeah, according to the hadith.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are multiple independent chains of transmission
just
that don't terminate at a single common link. Rather, they terminate at independent common links. Therefore, we could assume, and we are epistemically justified in believing that these different common links, who are all claiming they heard it from the Prophet, corroborate one another, and hence they heard it from the Prophet. It's very
And they
simple.
match
Zayd ibn Thabit could have even not existed. He could have not compiled anything. There could have been no translation of the Quran, and the Quran will still be preserved.
But that doesn't actually answer the hadith.
It doesn't.
I'll tell you why it doesn't.
Does the hadith undercut preservation?
What do you mean by undercut?
So it means does the hadith prove that it can't be preserved?
Yes. Yeah, I'll tell you how.
can't try.
No, I can tell you. No, I'm glad you asked me that question. That's the whole point.
Can we
I'm-
talk about Christianity now?
Yeah, but you made
Answer
no,
this
but,
and then we can
no,
listen.
but you made you asked me a good question. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. Zayd bin Thabit was one of the scribes of Muhammad. There were 4 scribes of the answer who collected the Quran according to the lifetime of Muhammad. Right? You're familiar with this, right? When it came to compiling the Quran under Abu Bakr around 632, he was told to collect it, to search out for it.
Okay.
That's what he was told.
Okay.
Now we also know, according to Bukhari, hadith number 4999, that there were 4 men who Muhammad said to learn the recitation of the Quran from.
Okay.
One being Ibn Masud, the other being Ubay ibn Ka'b, and there were 2 others. I think one of them even had been died at the time.
Okay.
Right? None of these men, of the 4 reciters, were a part of the compilation.
Okay.
When it came to Zayd bin Thabit, he apparently had been with the scribes who collected the Quran in a lifetime, but there was no Quran to put together when Abu Bakr had asked him to put the Quran together. In fact, he had to go out searching for it. Now, when he went to search for it, Zayd said that it was so hard that he compared it to moving a mountain. That's what he said, if you're familiar with that. And then he went out to search for it on parchment, on thin white stones, on scapula, from the chest of men, meaning some men who knew a verse or 2 of the Quran or maybe a chapter. And he got all of this together and he put it into a mushaf and gave it to Abu Bakr. But he did say as well one thing that's very interesting.
Us a bedtime story,
please.
brother?
Yeah. He also said that the last verse of Surah At-Tawbah was found with one guy called Abi Kuzaima al-Ansari. No, it's a different Kuzaima. That was Kuzaima bin Thabit al-Ansari. This guy didn't have a witness of 2.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? So when you look at the compilation process, there is no way that any person can verify, according to the hadith, that the Quran is preserved because there's no way of knowing what the Quran
Amazing.
is.
So what you're saying, okay, what you're saying is that
In the hadith.
We already told
what
you
you're saying is
how.
that according to the hadith, there's no justification to believe that the Quran is preserved via the hadith alone, right? That's what you're saying.
By that hadith, yeah.
Wait, okay. So you're not saying it disproves preservation. What you're saying is that it doesn't get you to justify
Doesn't give enough
preservation.
information.
No, it does. I'll tell you why.
Well, no,
Oh,
brother, you can't repeat
this
yourself
guy's
now.
wasting time.
You can't repeat
This guy's
yourself.
Say
wasting
the
time.
Kitabit version.
So
the master tested.
So are you
Quran that we have?
Zayd ibn Thabit version.
Yeah.
The one that he compiled. Does it match? Does it match?
No, but we're looking at the compilation. You're talking
This
about.
compilation-
You're talking outside of the hadith. I'm
Okay.
talking inside the hadith.
Okay,
That's
okay,
the whole
that's
problem.
Not, that's
You're
not-
talking outside
that's
of it.
not-
Do you
that's
understand
not-
it?
That's not
Do you
how
understand what I'm saying?
That's not how we.
Say what you're saying.
That's not how we establish preservation.
No,
You're
it's
all
not.
over
You
the
can't
place.
determine how we
can-
establish.
We can.
You can't
Yes,
determine.
I can.
I'm making
I
my
can.
argument.
Your argument sucks. It's trash.
Your defense sucks.
It's terrible.
You're talking
Your
about
argument is
no,
garbage.
No, it isn't.
It's trash.
It's not.
It's ass.
It isn't.
It's cheap.
Well, who were the witnesses then?
anyways,
who were the witnesses then?
They're found.
Who were the witnesses when Zayd collected the Quran?
They are
All right, tell me if
they
this
are
is the word of
found- They
Allah.
are found.
If this
Yeah,
is the, if the
he's-
Quran is
he's
the
gonna
word of
start
Allah,
manifesting.
then tell me who did Zayd collect the
He's
Quran
gonna-
from?
He's going to start manifesting.
You have to understand the
course
distinction.
So, brother,
Why would I
so brother, are you
manifest?
ready to talk about Christianity?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So he's finally ready to talk about Christianity. Are you a Trinitarian?
I am.
Why would the Trinity not be three gods?
Why would it not be? You have to make your claim.
Yeah. So by the way we usually count things,
Yeah.
we count things by concept relativity and individuation. If the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Spirit is God, and they're not each other, we would count three gods.
Okay.
So is there three gods?
No, there isn't three gods. No
All right,
Christian
so
believes
how,
that.
So how would there not be three gods?
I don't understand the words that you were using.
How do you count things?
Various ways.
All right. How do you? How many tripods are here?
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're doing adding up,
How many tripods?
I'm not gonna stand here
right
and count them for
right
you.
Right here. How many tripods?
okay, this I can see two
Why?
because I can add two
Why?
because there's two here. I mean, like,
Why
what's
is it
your
two?
what's your
Why is it
cla-
two
what's
and not
your,
one?
What's your?
I'm showing
what's
you
your-
now. Why is it two and not one?
You tell me.
You don't know how to
make
count?
make your claim.
I already made it. You said I don't
I don't
understand.
understand the words that
Exact-
you were using.
Okay.
You used two like
How-
intellectual
I
words
got
that I
you.
don't know what
How
they
we
mean.
use two intellectual words.
No, what were the words? Remind the words.
I got you.
I'm not. No way. I'm not afraid to say that I don't understand the
It's
words.
fine, it's fine.
You know, I'm sure
Okay, I
half
got
the
you.
people that are
I
listening
got
to
you.
this don't
How
understand the word.
How we usually count things is if two units
Yeah.
are distinct and two units fall under the same type.
Yeah, but we're talking about God here.
Good? I understand. Do we count? I understand.
but
we're
we're
not. We
talking about
haven't. We
God
haven't
here.
gone there yet. Do you agree that when we count,
Yeah.
we count distinct units under the same category?
The thing here is.
Can you just answer that?
I'm answering you, but you have
Yeah.
to let me answer the way I want to.
Yeah.
You can't dictate my answer.
Yeah. Just make
Right?
sure you answer.
We're talking about God here.
I'm not talking about God.
No,
I'm talking about
we are-
counting
no,
in
you
general.
mentioned the Trinity.
I didn't count. I didn't mention God yet.
mentioned the Trinity.
Didn't mention God.
You mentioned the
I didn't
Trinity.
mention God.
You said you said.
Sir.
Didn't you say that you think
And
we
you-
believe?
and you
wait,
asked-
wait.
Oh,
Didn't
Lord.
you say that you
we
think
are
we
literally
believe?
never gonna get anywhere.
Didn't you say that you think we believe?
brother? Do you need an Advil?
Didn't you say?
Tylenol?
Didn't you say that you think we believe in three gods?
And you asked me.
Didn't you say
and
that?
you asked me to give my argument.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to substantiate the way we count things.
By comparing God to physical
I haven't
things.
compared anything.
Okay.
I'm showing you how we count things, brother.
Okay.
All right. So do we agree that when we count things, we count by distinct units and under the same category?
Yes.
All right, cool. When we count gods according to the same way we count everything else under the type or category God, three distinct persons, how many gods would we count?
But this is the problem. You're saying gods. Christians don't believe.
Sir, how many gods do you believe in?
I believe in one God.
You see, you didn't have a
Yeah.
problem there, yeah?
Yeah.
Exactly. So when I say count gods, I'm not saying you have many gods.
Yeah.
I'm just saying count gods if there are many.
Okay.
You understand? So when we count gods by the same exact counting method we just established, how many gods would we count?
Well, it depends. Like,
If we counted the same way we just agreed on.
yeah, I mean, if you were talking about, let's say, Hindu gods, right?
No.
But
If we counted the Trinity.
Oh, wait, if you counted the Trinity, what do you
How many
mean?
gods? If we applied the same counting method,
Yeah, well, this is the problem. You're trying to do something that's not correct.
what's
Well,
not correct?
Let me
Counting ain't correct, man.
Let me tell you why. We're talking about God.
Yeah.
like when we're talking about God,
So we count God in a different way?
when you say count God, we believe that there is only one God.
I understand. But
So
how many gods do you believe in?
I believe in one God.
You just counted. You just said there's one.
Yeah, I just believe in one God.
Okay, so
yeah, so when
so
you
do
like,
we,
so
do
when,
we use the same counting
no, but
method or a different one?
what this is, I'm trying to make sure that when it comes to talking about God, we're talking about Him correctly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be fair here.
I understand, but
I'm trying to be
do
fair
you
here.
apply the same counting method that you apply to these two tripods to God?
When it comes to the Trinity, for example, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit,
Yeah,
believe that it's one God.
I understand. I'm
And I
saying,
tell you, but you need to know why.
brother,
It's the
what,
reason why.
what counting method are you
But
using?
it's the reason why is what's
Brother,
important.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
Yeah.
The same way you count in these two tripods, do you count God the same way?
Well, we don't. It's a weird question to ask. It's like when you say, do you count God the same way?
Yeah.
We don't count God
How many persons do you count?
with the three persons.
How do you count
of the
three?
Trinity. Because we see that there is one God, but there is.
I didn't ask you to count
let
God, I asked you to count
know,
person.
I know, but we see that there is a relationship between the Father, the Son, and the Holy
Nice.
Spirit. Because there's a relationship, we define that as persons.
So how do you count three and not one person?
by relationship?
Because they're distinct,
So,
yeah?
By relationship.
So they're distinct.
Yeah, distinct persons.
No, they're
yeah.
So,
So
they're,
Father, Son, and Holy
yeah,
Spirit.
they're distinct in their relation of origin. The Father is unbegotten, the Son is begotten, and the Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son, if you're Catholic, from the Father through the Son.
That's correct.
If
Yes.
you're okay,
That's correct.
So they are distinct, and under the category person, we count three persons.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you count the same way we count tripods when it comes to persons.
Yes.
Now apply that kind of method to counting gods. How many gods do you count?
No, it'll be one. Why? Because
The same-
it's because this is
the same
but
counting
this
method.
is the thing though. It's about the attributes of God. Right? This is very important. Right? Like if you're telling us to count, you're telling me to count God in the same way. It doesn't even make sense
Do you
to me
count
as a
God in the
Christian.
same way or no?
No, when we look at the when we
You
look
just
at the
counted
when
God
we
in the
look at
same way.
the
You
we look at the
counted persons in
yeah.
the same way. So when it
That's
comes to
fine,
persons,
because
you
we
count
can
in the
see
same way.
we can see a divine
Okay,
relationship
beautiful.
between the Father, Son,
Beautiful.
and the Holy Spirit.
So when you count persons, you count in the same way. If we were to count gods in the same way, if we were, would we count three gods?
No, this is the problem.
Oh boy.
What you're doing here,
Oh, boy.
this is the problem. You have to understand this, right? Every Christian believes in one God. Not,
Brother, I'm not asking you what you believe in.
I'm making a point. You gotta let me. Do
Then why are they all so boring to talk to, dude? Brother, you're so boring.
you want to end this or do you want to continue?
Yeah, just go, bro. Just walk away.
If you were to count,
You're not
normally, how
answering
many gods do you
questions,
have?
Bro.
brother.
Answer that.
You can't track. You're all
bless
over
you.
the
Take
place,
care.
man. Have a good one.
What's your name? Adam, nice to meet you, yeah? Respect, yeah? There's still respectful overall. God bless you. Take it easy, yeah? All right, that was an interesting debate, I'm not going to lie. My first time talking with this Libiano guy. Overall, it was an interesting experience. You know, in the end, we were able to shake hands and be respectful to each other, but it was very difficult at times to get the arguments across that I wanted to get across. To my surprise, though, he actually accepted. He agreed that the Birmingham folio is not perfectly preserved. He said that. Now, I know that there are Muslims in this park that will say that the Birmingham folio is 100% word for word the Quran that we have today.
Like Mansour.
He says like Mansour. I've heard Smile to Jannah say that. But this guy, he actually agreed that the Birmingham folio is not preserved. Now, he used some words or some terms that I'm not familiar with. I showed him Dr. Albert Fideli's report about the Birmingham folio, and he questioned whether the variant reading in Surah Taha chapter 20 verse 31 actually came from Ibn Masud or not. I quoted the reference according to her works, but I didn't have the actual reference to hand to show him. So next time I talk about this, I'll make sure that I have it. Or maybe these cameramen at the time of the video can actually pull it up and show, on the screen. because what I'm saying is coming from academics. I'm not making this stuff up myself. So that was a big admission. Now, if Ibn Masud was the one who Muhammad said to learn the recitation from, and his codicy can be linked, or variant readings from his codicy can be linked to the Birmingham Folio, but to not the 10 Qira'at, then it would show that the 10 Qira'at has problems and that it's not perfectly preserved, right? That was one aspect that was going down. And then he mentioned that the 7 ahruf are contained within the 10 Qira'at. I asked him why. He basically said it was an assumption. And then he started appealing to Mutawatir and saying that it goes back to the Prophet through various chains of people. I then went to the Uthman's compilation, standardization, and I was trying to show him that when Uthman standardized the Quran, did he do that in the 7 ahruf? Did he do that in 1/2? We didn't go there. He ended up talking about witnesses. And then when he started speaking about witnesses, he brought up Khuzaimah bin Tabi al-Ansari, who apparently, according to the hadith, had a witness equal to 2. It's there in the hadith. But he was confusing the standardization with the compilation. The compilation, there wasn't 2 witnesses. In the compilation, there wasn't 2 witnesses, but in the standardization, there was one situation where someone had a witness equal to 2. Anyway, to rush this on, I feel that I proved that the Quran hasn't been perfectly preserved on the Birmingham manuscript alone. I want to make that very clear. When it came to the compilation of the Quran under Abu Bakr, I was showing the various methods in which Zayd collected the Quran. There's no way, based on these methods, that the Quran was preserved through written evidence or through oral evidence. And they kept cutting me as I was getting to the main point. And another thing that I want to quickly mention before I finalize and conclude is that they mentioned about the 2 witnesses. They said that they will show me the hadith or a commentary about the 2 witnesses, and they weren't able to show me that. They tried to infer from the hadith about Khuzaimah bin Tabi al-Ansari having a dual testimony, that meant everyone had that there was a dual witness all around, even in Abu Bakr's compilation. But this is not there in the text. It's not. The Zayd literally was the only one going around collecting it and verifying it. That's literally what we have in the Quran, in the hadith material. Lastly, he tried to speak to me about the Trinity. He was asking me about counting methods. He was trying to count God in a physical way. We don't do that. So he looked like he was looking for a gotcha moment, but he clearly didn't get it. And yeah, so God bless you guys. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe to SoCo, subscribe to, I think this is Revelation, I'm not sure. And to all of the Christian channels that are out here. Happy Easter. Remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. Allah doesn't save, Jesus saves. Jesus saves, Christ is risen. God bless you all, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
On that TV.
Tutti